next episode of Don't Do That on Epic Fridays. We got a few things going on. Parents want sons' death to be stayed out of being a political situation. As parents, are you ready for the consequences of your child? An Haitian woman eats a cat? True or lie? Or is it 50-50?
She ate that cat.
She did eat the cat though.
She ate that cat.
She ate that cat.
They are eating dogs. They are eating pets.
They're eating your cats and dogs, people. Eating your cats and dogs. Let's go ahead and get 16 out here and get this started, y'all. Because, man, we got a lot to unpunch here. Oh, and before I forget,
Smoke of the app.
Smoke of the app, guys. Still from House of Jane. Good Life Infusions. Birthday cake. Some good stuff right here, guys. Taste good.
I'm shaking my head because, alright, so look, all through the timeline when we're going through our social media, we constantly getting these, you know, TikTok videos and shorts and reels where all these cats, dogs are like doing these funny expressions, and they keep playing that clip of Trump saying they're eating the dogs, they're eating the pets. And to find out that they was really, this Haitian lady really did.
She did.
Yeah, so
okay,
yeah.
So basically, what I got it from is
wow.
From Sheriff Grady Judd, Polk County Attorney. Oh no, my bad, wrong now.
Yep.
The description is called "No Haitian immigrants are not eating stolen pets in Springfield, Ohio," because the clip they are showing you of the woman in the fact of eating the cat was in Canton, Ohio. Okay,
she's still eating the cat?
But she is still eating the cat, guys. Eating the cat, and not eating the cat as she should be eating the cat because it was decapitated. She was eating the cat, whatever. But one thing for sure, one thing for certain, she was not an immigrant. She was actually, they have lived here for quite some time, but she definitely did eat a cat, you guys. So we're not going to deny that, but she didn't steal nobody's cat.
Man.
Because there have not been reports in the area for that.
Just so, wow.
It's just, okay. Because I had to look that up. My son was talking to me about that, even more about it. I had to look that up.
Just, like, listen to this. She was eating a cat.
I know. But you know what? At the end of the day, people eat people. I mean, we don't see
more than one way.
But the point is that yeah, it's pretty weird, guys. The fact that, you know, but I mean, at the end of the day, okay, whatever. But I see the fact that they are trying to use certain situations to kind of go about ways of this political game nonsense that they have. I don't know. I can't.
The world is crazy right now.
Because of the simple fact, it's like people are always throwing out this whole, well, you know, greater evil, lesser evil, bull nonsense. But it's like, oh yeah, we don't.
It's crazy right now.
We don't have other political parties out there like the Green or the Independent or anything like that. We're just gonna forget what, you know, school actually did teach us.
They're gonna stick back, and this is what we were taught. Pretty much everybody's in a routine of being either Republican or Democrat, and then the whole thing of going to one of the independents is like something that a lot of people. You have those people that have done, you know, going over to the independents, but the percentage of those people as opposed to the percentage of people that go to the elephant or the donkey.
Yeah, both of them are animals.
Yeah, it's just
so it's just
just routine. But you know, of course, everybody knows today is Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th, so superhero swag scary.
Venom.
Okay, so everybody knows that today is Friday the 13th, but we also want to reiterate and say again that this is the actual 28-year anniversary of Tupac Shakur being taken from us. because of the whole East Coast West Coast beef. However that went down, we lost one of the greatest MCs of all time, and this is the anniversary of that unfortunate event.
We did miss one unfortunate event that did take place also that we did not touch on, was the 9/11 situation.
Whoa, yeah.
And I did want to touch base on that. I'm sorry for the collateral damage that our country had put upon the American people, because at the end of the day, you screwed those people over because you were backing them before you decided to go and back the freaking idiots that we are dealing with now, the Russians. So, you know, obviously, we chose the wrong one.
Well, 1 minute they're cool with, 1 minute the next minute they're mad and they don't like this person. They do the same thing with a lot of the drug czars.
I know.
They do the same thing with a lot of the drug czars. Hey, we want you to stop doing this. Oh, but we like you in this position because you can do this. So we'll go against your competition and we'll keep you in place because we can control you. But as soon as we can't control you anymore, we don't like you anymore. And so now you're our enemy. But you were our friend and we was supplying you and everything.
Oh yeah.
But now we're mad. And so,
I mean, look at White Boy Rick. I mean, look at that situation. They made that man into, you know, the U.S. government made that whole, you know, it's, you know,
so. Conversation where, you know, they switch sides and do some.
It's sad that our own people had to be collateral damage for our own stupidity.
Crazy stuff.
So, alright, but that kind of wraps up into the fact that the next headline is Ohio parents are asking Trump and Vance to stop using their child as a political tool.
As a pawn in his campaign.
The parents of the child was killed in a bus crash that was, yes, caused by a Haitian immigrant in Springfield, Ohio last year. And now the parents are pleading with them to leave their child out of being a political tool. Now, this is what the parents had said.
So Trump is using a accident.
Because it was caused by a Haitian immigrant.
Okay,
but it was a accident.
And the parents have already acknowledged.
They're acknowledging him. Like, this is what they said. They have spoken my son's name and used his death for political gain. And Nathan Clark, the father who spoke at a Springfield City Council mission hearing, my son was not murdered. He was accidentally killed by an immigrant.
Okay, so that says that
now
the actual law enforcement officials, the parents, everyone saying that it's an accident, and
leave that child alone.
He's still
let him rest in peace. Now another one that touched me, and it touched me a lot because this is coming from them saying, "I wish my son Aiden Clark was killed by a 60-year-old white man. I bet you never thought anyone would ever say something so blunt." But the fact that the guy that killed the 11-year-old son, it's increasing hate. It's increasingly hating because you would have never seen it like this.
And the reason why she's saying that is to probably allude to the fact that had the person been
a white man,
then this would not even have made the news. It
or would have
been as big an issue, or been able to be used
as a political issue.
As a pawn.
He's a pawn. This child is dead. He was 11 years old. It was an accident. He was not murdered maliciously.
This just goes into a lot of what I fear with the political candidates, because like you said, a lot of them don't go to the independents. So if you don't go to the independents, if you don't go to the independents, then you have to deal with either Kamala or you have to deal with Trump, because you really don't have any other choices. Because at this point, election day is looming. It's right around the corner. So to switch and try and go to somebody independent is almost unthinkable. So you pretty much, this is it. You're faced with either Trump, and we already know what that is, or you're faced with Kamala. And that's going to be more of the same, because the Democrats always promise and hardly ever deliver.
And the thing is,
for the
everybody
people they're
wants to
supposed to be
vote on
delivering for,
promises and
they're
vote on
not
promises
delivering.
and vote on promises. How many promises were actually kept? How many promises were actually kept? You can't vote on somebody with promises that will never be able to be fulfilled. Never fulfilled. Fully fulfilled. Never. So,
never, ever.
The next one is, if you don't raise your kids right, make sure you're ready for the consequences.
Flat out.
Now, there was a situation somewhere in Ohio, there's a complex and whatnot, whatever.
I remember this.
Now, there's this kid out there, he's 5 years old, okay, this is the sad part right here, he's only 5 years old.
Still got time to
learn.
But
this child, okay, now mind you, he is so just, what do you want to call it, where you're just out with it. You know you ain't going to get in trouble with it. You know your parents ain't going to do nothing about it because you're so vain with it. Like you're just out there with it, and because you don't know they care.
That's
like
bad.
This child has hit kids with rocks. I mean, this kid has taunted kids.
Is this the kid? Wait a minute, hold on. Is this the kid that all the kids came to the door on the parent?
Yes, sir.
The parent wouldn't let the kid.
Oh, because they want all the kids.
The little kid,
a piece of that little boy.
All the kids wanted a piece of the parent.
Yep, they wanted a piece of that little boy.
If you won't let us get to him, then you come outside.
Then you go ahead, come on, because we're going to give you the business because you're the one raising this child. Okay, you're the one raising this child. You're the one.
This is
old school wisdom. You don't know how your child is.
Old school wisdom, and you can't really say it any deeper than there's no simpler way to say it other than spare the rod, spoil the child.
And there's so many ways to do that.
If you're not going to apply discipline and show boundaries to the child, then you are failing as a parent.
If you're
being
one of
a
those
parent
parents,
is not always being the kid's best friend.
Right.
You actually, for people that know about Star Wars, you actually have to have someone, and if you're a single parent, then you have to play dual roles, like my man David Canary on All My Children back in the day with Adam and Stewart. Okay, you gotta play a dual role. You gotta be the same person. You gotta play Darth Vader, and you gotta play Luke Skywalker. You gotta be the villain and tell them no, and have hard consequences when you tell them no and they go against what you do. And you gotta be over here and be kind of cool and be their friend too.
Here's the other scenario too.
Just let them run over you and let them do whatever the hell they want.
Now you have the ones that are the very, very gentle parent, but then you have like, for example, us. We discipline when needed, and then you have those that are questionable. Like, bro, what are you doing? That's a little bit much. Where there's discipline, but there's no teaching.
That's because
there's no teaching. There's no. This is why I'm whooping your ass. This is why I'm doing this.
Another superhero, supervillain reference from the icon. That's why Thanos said everything perfectly balanced as all things should be.
Yeah, you have to be
so that means
perfect, but you can't be
too much ass whooping,
and
you can't have too much I'm your friend, I'm gonna let you do what you want to do. You got to be right in the middle of don't cross this line.
Yeah, and that child, I would say from my understanding of the storyline is that child's father had a bit more of the asshole.
Yeah.
So that
ideally supposed to have two parents for though.
There was two parents.
Oh,
but the thing is exactly. So now, mind you, if you are a bit like there's a difference between being overly heavy-handed and then being in between gentle and that gray area.
If you too much major pain, if you enjoy the ass whooping too much, that's abuse.
Address the situation, talk to the child, address the situation, but still give the proper discipline because you can still talk to them while you're disciplining them and explaining to them why they are in trouble.
The explanation after you calm down, after the ass whooping is done and you've made your point, the explanation is the key to the whole discipline thing. because you lay into them and let them know what they've done and
They're
how
like
they have
sponges at that
hurt
age.
you and how this reflects on the family and whatnot. And then you go in and you explain and have that heart-to-heart talk, that eye-to-eye. Like, look, this is the reason, and this will happen again if you do not. That's parenting. If you fall short of that, then you have people who are 5 years old throwing rocks at every student in the school because you're not teaching them boundaries.
So that's why
fear.
When you're at 5 and they're 5, you're like a sponge. So whenever you're doing either no discipline and you're just letting your child run around wild, they're learning everything all at once. So that's a lot of stuff. That's a lot of stuff going on. So he can go ahead and do what he wants. But then there's also the ones that don't explain and just whoop that ass and let it go on about their business. They're only soaking up the discipline. They're not soaking up any of the thoughtfulness of why they're in trouble.
If you don't catch them while they're young and teach them the boundaries, you know who's going to teach them the boundaries? The police.
Yeah.
And when the police teach them, it's a whole different lesson. It's a hard lesson.
It's sad.
It's an expensive lesson.
And it could be a lesson of loss.
Yeah, loss of time with your loved ones, loss of money in your wallet.
You know, what if, go from throwing rocks and all this stuff to say, hey, I'm about to just clap back at these police officers, or I'm going to clap at them first because whatever, I'm going to make sure I hit them first or whatever. That's a problem.
Ooh.
Because then it's either, who do you blame in that outcome? What picture do you paint? Do you paint the child that you love? Or do you paint the child that you built? You really got to think about that because it's fucked up.
Right.
It's a hard thing to think about and it's a hard thing to crack open, but people have to think about it. So, alright guys, thanks again for joining us on this episode. We'll see you next time. Mad as Hell Monday. I'm going to that, y'all. Peace.